legislation as a means to reduce air pollution. So up to now we have discussed what are the measures to be taken to reduce air pollution, like the devices like electrostatic precipitator, wet scrubber, etc., and effective traffic management and economic policy measures. That all we discussed. Now how the legislation helps in controlling the air pollution. So first let us discuss about the remote sensing satellites. Remote sensing, a science of acquiring and analyzing the information about the objects or the phenomenon from a distance. That is called as remote sensing. So by the remote sensing satellites, we will get the information from the objects or the phenomenon without the physical contact. It uses aerial root sensors technology to detect and classify the objects on the earth, both on the surface and in the atmosphere and the oceans by by means of the signals, propagated signals. And these signals are electromagnetic radiations emitted from the satellites. By satellites, aircraft or spacecraft or helicopter images, the data is created to analyze and compare the things like the vegetation rates, erosion, pollution, forestry, and weather conditions, military in Cold War, and land use. And these images can be mapped, and these images can be after tracking, so it will be observed and it can be processed. And the process of remote sensing satellites will be helpful in city planning, archaeological surveys, military observations, and mapping also it will be helpful. So how this working of satellites will take place? So satellites will move in a fixed plane. They orbit the earth at different altitudes, and they gather the electromagnetic radiations reflected back from a part of the earth's atmosphere. So they gather the electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic radiations which are reflected back from a part of the earth's atmosphere, and these are controlled by the ground stations from the earth. These satellite dishes collect the signals from the satellite, which helps in processing. Why is remote sensing is considered, satellites are considered as a good tool? It collects the data from the places where the man cannot reach, like ice-bound areas where humans find it difficult, and oceans man cannot reach. So that kind of places it will give information from that places. It provides consistent data. Especially in oceanography, geology, and meteorology, etc. As it provides digital data, so it will make easier for the computer processing. The frequency of data collection is very fast. And it covers larger areas in lesser time. Only the initial cost of building and sending the satellite to space is huge, but once it started, it will be less only, and it reduces the cost of manpower for survey and the cost of travel also. It avoids the need for ground check at a huge cost, and time also it will save, as whatever the information we will get from the satellite is more reliable. What are the applications of remote sensing satellites? So to find out the unplanned deforestation and prevention of deforestation. So first application is to identify the unplanned deforestation and to prevent the deforestation, desertification and degradation of the lands, assessment of drought, of the conditions in the lands about and also provides information about the rainfall and surface water conditions. And especially due to mining, more damage will be caused to the environment. With the help of satellites, it will we can easily assess what kind of damage has been done to the land, and detecting the burning of forest fires, for detecting the forest fires and even volcanic eruptions, alerting the coastal guards about the pollution of water, alerting the coastal guards about the pollution of water. And it also gives tsunami warnings, and mainly it is used in mineralogy, biology and military and defense. What are the possible applications of from ISRO? So ISRO will launches many satellites. So possible applications which will use in agriculture, forestry and environmental monitoring. First, let us discuss about the usage of remote sensing satellite in agriculture, crop crop monitoring and the condition assessment for the land degradation, and how the damage is caused, damage assessment for the land also will be done in agricultural field. Then encroachment of the forest, habitat analysis and fire damage caused to the forest will be done. Environmental monitoring. So in environmental monitoring, these remote sensing satellites are used more. So to assess the soil contamination and how to use the lands desertification analysis and disaster monitoring, oil spills, study of oil spills, etc. So in environmental impact assessment, so it is, this term is very important. In the later lesson, in the next lesson, we are going to learn this one, environmental impact assessment. So in the geological and exploration and rock analysis, mapping, mining pollution assessments, coal fires, landslides vulnerability, landslides risk, we can study with the help of this satellites. And even in infrastructure and utilities, so road networks, structural and hydrological inventory, cartography or mapping, and even national security, these satellites will help. Legislative control of air pollution. So mainly how the legislation helps in reducing air pollution. The emission norms are prescribed to detect mainly the pollutants like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons and oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, etc. And these are emission standards are set by the government, in which the vehicles uses that fuels, and they will emit these pollutants on the roads. And all the manufacturers need to implement these regulations or rules for vehicles at the manufacturing stage itself to reduce the pollution. So Euro norms, these are the emission norms to permit the emission levels like for both petrol and diesels, which is implemented mainly in the European countries. So Euro 1 and Euro 2. The introduction of the Euro 1 from leaded petrol to unleaded petrol, it started in 1992. Mainly to reduce the amount of carbon monoxide, as it is toxic in nature. Euro 2 is also one emission norm implemented in European country. It also started to limit the amount of carbon monoxide, and also it has reduced the unburned hydrocarbon and the oxides of nitrogen and other pollutants from the petrol and diesel vehicles. What are the limitations of Euro norms? It is a voluntary agreement between the European Union and the auto manufacturers, and there are chances that it may not deliver. It is a universal norm followed all over. Euro norms are tested at sub-zero temperature and are not styled to the demands of Indian subcontinent. It includes the only norm for the manufacturing stage, not on the road emission standard. So that means, so it what are the norms they made? It is at the manufacturing stage itself. On the road, how much emission is caused? So that it will not discuss. So, what are the functions of a central board at the national level? What are the duties or work of a central board towards the reducing the air pollution? So, advising the central government in to take measures in preventing the air pollution and even water pollution also, and improving the quality of the air. Coordinate the activities of the state board and to resolve the disputes among the different boards. Providing technical assistance and guidance to the state boards. Providing technical assistance and guidance to the state boards and sponsoring investigations that are relating to the water and air pollution for preventing and control. Organize through the mass media, organizing through the mass media or awareness program to control the pollution levels. Preparing manuals, codes and guidance relating to the treatment and disposal of even sewage and trade effluents as for the exhaust gases released from the chimney or cleaning devices. After consultation with the concerned state government, what are the steps that has to be taken or to be modified to prevent the or to control the quality of pollution of air or to improve the quality of air. By this we come to the end of the 5th lesson. Thanks.